British blizzards ain't got nothing on America. I've heard it's been getting crazy over in America with the weather right now. So really looking forward to jumping into this one. Before we do, like 80% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. If you're one of the 80%, I appreciate if you can hit that subscribe button down below. I'm also posting extra content to my Patreon page. Link is in the description. Yeah, let's check out these blizzards.
Well, it's that time of year again when America becomes a desolate hellscape.
Okay.
And as of 5 minutes ago, my weather alerts are saying that there's a blizzard heading straight for Chicago.
Yikes.
Wait, no, 5 hours ago.
Chicago.
But back when I lived in Britain, a blizzard was a bit like the census. You only had to worry about it once every 10 years.
In Chicago, I'm already on my 4th blizzard in 8, and that excludes trips to Dairy Queen. I'm Lawrence, and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America...
UK blizzards, one every 10 years. America, he's already been through 4 in 8. Okay, there we go, there we go. High stats.
Lost in the pond, and one of those memos
Blizzards.
pertains to buzzards.
Oh.
Blizzards. And since you are likely snowed in yourself, why not begin your new binge? If you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, do that now.
His name will be in the description. Check him out.
In the meantime, allow me to give you insight into North American blizzards while simulating one. It's the best I could do at such short notice. The truth is, while winters are generally getting less severe in the Windy City, I still consider blizzards a staple of Midwestern winters.
The thing is, though, that's just... What? Wait, what's happened here? Did he fall over in the snow? What happened? But this is so beautiful, man. Like, I wish we had this during, like, Christmas time. But that's about it. All the time now.
Staple of Midwestern winters. It's perhaps fitting then that the very word blizzard skyrocketed in use following one particular Midwestern season. The hard winter of 1880 to 1881. And if you think I'm being hyperbolic, that's literally what the event identifies as on Wikipedia. Basically, the Great Plains, which the Census Bureau somehow defines as Midwestern, endured a winter storm that continued on and off for 6 months.
Oh, wow.
I bet Laura Ingalls Wilder's parents were like, I hope you're taking notes. And she was. The storm was so bad that Wilder recalled it 60 years later in her book, The Long Winter. But whether it was long or hard, it was extremely cold. And
I'm guessing that's like 6 months of like crazy on and off weather, right? Like the weather's crazy.
Extent that none of the men felt comfortable making sex jokes out of this sentence. Sections of the Transcontinental Railroad were completely buried. Even Francis Bourgeois would have been mad about it.
Okay, never mind. He just answered my question. Huh? Bro.
Old, to the extent that none of the men felt comfortable making sex jokes out of this sentence. Sections of the Transcontinental Railroad were completely buried. Even...
What? Bro, it was that high? Yo, that's mad.
Francis Bourgeois would have been mad about that. As Wilder herself wrote in The Long Winter,
Railroads, they're good to have, but the trouble is folks get to depend on them.
Some more than others. Many set up their lives within reach of the railroad in order to receive critical shipments. During the hard winter, those very often never came.
Friday, January 12th.
Clearly, in 2024, blizzards aren't the same problem they once were, especially since I have central heating and a Prius. But as somebody who grew up in the Seattle of Europe, Midwestern blizzards are still a shock to the system. Firstly, they bring a lot of snow in a very short space of time.
Right.
Secondly, you receive weather alerts that are so poorly formatted it looks like the storm hit them. And after reading it for the 7th time, I managed to glean the following information. Number 1, there will be heavy snow. I think we got that memo. Number 2, travel could be very difficult to impossible. Which is all good and well to note while sipping coffee in the comfort of your new studio.
Wait, right, listen. You know when, like, we know it's going to snow in the UK? For our main roads and stuff, there's, like, the government will send, or the council, whatever, right, will send out, like, these trucks that put salt on the ground. So the snow can't settle. It just melts. Do you not do that in America? Like grit or salt or whatever it is? Do you not do that in America? Because every time I see like crazy snow weather going on in America, everywhere's covered. Everywhere's covered. All the roads and stuff. Do you not put grit out? Would that not help? Or maybe you do it, but America's that big. It's just, you can't cover, you know, a lot of it.
Less so when your home is 100 miles away and you're sitting in the passenger seat of a Prius.
Slow down,
But that
slow
is
down.
what happened to me and my wife in northern Indiana exactly a few years ago,
stuck?
approximately. We had taken a once-in-a-lifetime vacation to the bountiful kingdom of Indianapolis.
Nice.
By then, nothing more than a snow-covered dystopia. After our stay came and went, we braved the snow, still relatively light at this point, and headed back to Chicago. All seemed to be going well until we pulled into a McDonald's, which is where my problems always seem to start.
Wait, listen. He's... Bro, I'm predicting the future here. He's pulled into a McDonald's. He's implying that something's going to go down and he's going to get snowed in. Hey, McDonald's isn't the worst place to be snowed in. I'm just putting it out there. If I could choose a place to get snowed in at, other than my house, because, you know, house is definitely the best bet. Better place to be snowed in at. It would be McDonald's. You get the good food.
And as I bit into my filet-o-fish, something didn't feel right. And I'm not just talking about the bones. A poorly formatted alert entered my inbox bearing the words, "Travel could be very difficult to impossible." And at that very moment, almost as if I'd embellished the timing of it to move the story along, the snow went completely and utterly a little bit silly. The cars in front became invisible, which between that and the slippery roads probably accounted for several accidents.
What?
Thankfully, we were not among them. As traffic slowed down to a crawl, or in some cases a slide, we found ourselves having to make a decision. Press on to Chicago, knowing we wouldn't be home until June, or pull over and wait out the storm at Denny's. We did the latter, even if our server Debbie wasn't happy that I'd snuck in McNuggets. 1 hour and 1,246 calories later, the snow halted and we slowly made our way home. Until today, I've not told anybody that story, except for Debbie, who offered her sympathies in no way whatsoever.
Nice to Debbie.
Of course, snow isn't even the worst part of a blizzard. The worst part about blizzards is the use of the word snowmageddon by American news anchors, but it's also the wind. Because something that I didn't tell you about today's poorly formatted weather alert is that it predicted that the wind would reach 45 miles per hour.
Oh, wow.
Whether or not this was accurate doesn't matter, because once the winds exceed 25, your face begins to hate you.
Wait. I'm trying to think and pull it to, like, perspective. What's like a really windy I think a really windy day in the UK I could be wrong, but maybe 20s, so 45. Yeah, grannies are going to be flying all over the place with their brollies.
Between the snow, the wind, and concerned calls from my Aunt Cynthia, it's easy to forget the most exciting part.
It could be really dangerous.
To which the snow settles. Exciting the wind and concerned calls from my Aunt Cynthia, it's easy to forget the most exciting part. The degree to which the snow settles.
Right, okay.
And when I say most exciting part, I'm really paraphrasing my dog Arthur, who is under the mistaken belief that all of this is the greatest thing that has ever happened.
So cute.
What he doesn't know is that it's us humans who have to deal with the fallout.
True.
Whether it's shoveling off the balcony over concerns it may collapse into the mudroom below. I've just realised that I've been dropping all of this snow onto our outdoor grill. Or remembering the exact location of ankle-breaking potholes that this adorable little created. Or figuring out a plan for when all of this melts. Because something that I forgot to mention about the hard winter of 1881 is that, much like the trains, it came to a grinding halt. Spring very suddenly brought about warm temperatures, and the people most affected by the blizzards now had to contend with widespread flooding. So I just hope that Sunday isn't unseasonably warm, otherwise my basement might leak a little bit.
Yeah, bro. In the UK, we don't get anything like this, bro. When the snow goes, it goes. There ain't no flooding after the snow. What? Yo, that's mad.
Temperatures and the people most affected by the blizzards now had to contend with widespread flooding. So I just hope that Sunday isn't unseasonably warm, otherwise my basement might leak a little bit. I have good news and bad news.
The good news is my basement's fine.
The bad news is my basement is fine because it is minus 9 degrees Fahrenheit outside. For context, that's 9 degrees more frigid than London's coldest ever temperature. In Chicago...
Wait. And I watched a video on the average... You know what? If you haven't seen it on my channel the other day, we watched a video on, like, the average cold weathers in, like, the big cities and stuff. Bro, it was crazy, man. Like, the way I see it now is that America weather goes from extreme to extreme. So, like, the UK, it's raining a lot. It does get cold. It can get warm, right? But in America, the way I see it is really, really hot or really, really, really cold. Like, it just goes from extreme to extreme, bro. It's crazy out there.
This is known as an annual tradition. And that brings me on to my own annual tradition, which is to tell my audience that despite everything, I'm going to embrace winter this year. Well, that ends today.
Yeah.
No more toxic positivity, no more, isn't snow fun?
Okay.
I've had it. Instead, I'm going to embrace misery. Cold, hard misery. Thanks for watching. No, I'm being told we can't finish with that. Back to Lawrence in the audio booth. Thanks, Lawrence. Now, January might be the Satan of calendar months, but if those who experienced the hard winter of 1881 were still alive today, it would be a miracle because nobody lives that long. But if they were, they'd probably marvel at how far we've come in weather preparedness. And how...
Oh, wait, we would know. We definitely would know if someone was 120-something years old. Wait, 130, wouldn't it? Yeah, 130 something.
We in the 21st century take for granted electricity and heating systems because we've never known anything different. And how the American office should have finished after Michael left. I mean, that's got nothing to do with this, but...
Wait, now that I actually deeply think about it, when I'm watching like Game of Thrones and stuff, and like back in the medieval times, when you didn't have like heating, electric... Bro, they must have been rough. That, like, I knew what they meant when it was like all preparing winter's coming. But like... Now that I didn't deeply think about it without electric and fire and stuff, well, they had fire, but you know what I mean. Yeah, when winter's coming, like you're probably scared. You're probably petrified. Like winter's coming. Get the fur cut. Yeah, bro, that's mad.
But they would think that. Anyway, for the first time in as many days, I'm sitting here in my basement hiding from sub-zero temperatures. If you are doing the same thing or happen to be impacted by the big freeze, I raise an invisible glass to you and hope that we get through this the way that grown humans should. By just being sensible and wearing a coat.
That was a really good video. Make sure you do check out Lost in a Pond. A lot of you guys have been sending me photos and talking to me on Instagram about like the weather and stuff and like showing me photos of how crazy it's getting outside where you are. If you want to do that, my Instagram is L3WG_. I'd love to check out more. Yeah, great video. Enjoyed that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed as well. If you did, make sure you leave a thumbs up, subscribe for more content. I'm live every single day on twitch.tv/L3WG. If you guys want to check me out over there, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.